Welcome to Tuesdays with Terry. We're very excited that you're joining us this week. We have an exciting show. I'm very excited about our guests today, so we're going to jump right into it. Our first guest today is our Aquinas College President, Dr. Alicia Córdoba. So welcome. Glad to have you on the show.
It's very excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to talk. One of the things on Tuesdays with Terry, we talk all things Aquinas. We talk all things faculty, staff, students. And coming up, our next guest today is going to be one of our softball players, one of our students.
That's
so
great.
We're just learning more about each other and learning more about our community. So
Sounds great.
We're very excited you're here, very excited to talk with you, get to know you a little more, and have our community get to know you as well. So
thank you.
Yeah. First question I have, not the rapid fire yet. I told you I wasn't going to give you the rapid fire questions yet. But the first question I have is, tell us a little bit about your educational journey that brought you to Aquinas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Something that a lot of people don't know is I started out as an accounting major.
Okay.
At the University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana. And it was actually going to a Buddy Rich concert, a famous jazz player, and he had so much energy on the stage. I'm like, I want to do what that guy does. And I'm like, you're an oboe player. Why would you want to do that? I'm like, no, see what he does to the audience? Yeah. I want to do that. Okay. So I shifted from accounting over to music and then just continued. And loved playing, continued to play. So I got my bachelor's of music, master's of music. Doctor of Musical Arts. Started playing in the symphony. I was subbing in the Chicago Symphony. All that fun stuff. Incredible educational, professional career. But my education for Aquinas, I think, came more from having an opportunity to be a faculty member, department chair at a Catholic school, Benedictine Catholic school, Benedictine University. And I realized there's more to life than just playing my oboe and hanging out on the stage and enjoying that camaraderie. There was a whole nother piece to life. So that learning how to be on the other side of the classroom, being the teacher versus the student was an incredible joy to me. So I just, little by little, I went into administration, again, learning more and more about what is higher education about. Kind of led me here between Benedictine and then St. Mary's.
That's awesome. And when you think about, like, I didn't know the accounting piece. This is, it's awesome. Like, we learn things as we go. When you were going in, so Champaign-Urbana, familiar, my brother's an alum from there. And so you're going in and like, that was the path. That was it.
I wanted to make lots of money and I love numbers. And so I was always just doing that anyway. And it's funny because when I was there, I didn't realize it was literally the number one business school at the time with the number one major, and I hated it. I said, I like the classes, just the idea of being an accountant and not playing. I mean, I was in the band, I was playing, but it wasn't the focus. I needed that to be my focus.
And when you think about the performances that you've done, like what would be like one or two that stick out that, like, when I ask, I don't want to say favorite because that's then you're having to kind of rank and do that, but a couple that stick out.
Okay. One in particular was amazing. I was in a summer program in Graz, Austria, and we were performing all over Europe. But we played in one place, it was in a castle. And it was at night, and the castle had no light. So we literally had candles on the side of the stand. So we're all dressed in our finery, which for me was actually a bathing suit with a long skirt because I didn't have a fine dress to wear in this castle. But to play under candlelight was just extraordinary. And again, in a castle in Europe, phenomenal. I said, but I think one of the most amazing concerts I had was when I was in New York in Avery Fisher Hall when I was a student at Juilliard. And I played my favorite piece of all time, Rimsky-Korsakov, Scheherazade. And I played oboe, even though I was an English horn major there. And everybody says, you can't do that. I'm like, I have to play this piece. This is why I play these instruments. So they allowed me to do it. And it was so extraordinary, I don't even remember. Actually, right before the concert, my reed unraveled. I glued it back together right before I played. And it was just phenomenal. People like it.
Absolutely.
It was a great concert. So
awesome.
It was one of those, even though I would say almost how they say music transcends things.
Yeah.
That's what happened that day.
Yeah.
And it was really quite something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
And then thinking about that, one of the things that you mentioned was, being in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned you made that transition, student, teacher. When
When
you do that, right? It's like, okay, you have to change, and you're preparing, and you're planning, and then you're executing, and then you're adjusting. Within the classroom, within the experience.
Yeah.
When you think about that, what's been one of your kind of, most enjoyable courses to teach? Like, what sticks out?
One?
Yeah, which one? I'll give you a couple. I'll give you a couple.
Well, I'm going to combine two.
Okay.
World music and music history. It was looking at music from historically European and then everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at how the world is shaped by life and music. It's just, to me, extraordinary, and having fun watching the lights go up with my students. Like, I never knew that. I never thought that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Not to mention, it's a class I could always dance in. So I always would tell students at the very beginning, every now and again, I won't be able to help myself because the music just always moves me. And the other one was a course I taught called Creativity, Art, and Culture. And it was in the honors program at the institute, Benedictine, where I was at. Mm-hmm. And the fun about that was watching students not only learn how to write and think about the arts in another way, but we took a trip every year downtown Chicago, and some of these students had never been into the city. Yeah. So we took a train together, and we went to the Art Institute. Yeah. We went and explored the downtown, and then we finished with an opera, lyric opera. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so they were living experiences that most of them would have never experienced. And then bringing it back into, okay, what did you learn about people, let alone the arts? So phenomenal course, and a lot of fun for me.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. So third year, am I correct? Yes, third year as president here. And one of the things that I think is awesome that I'm learning as well is about our community, about our students, about our faculty and staff, and the passion that exists here for education. When you think about our students, faculty, and staff, like, what comes to mind?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
If I lump them all together, one of it's just a loving place. People really care about each other here. But I think the one thing that I notice, very different from other places I have been, everybody, if you say hello, people stop and say hello. Yeah. Students, faculty, staff, and they chat. Yeah. You talk, about everything and nothing. Yeah. But it's everybody. And that's a really special thing, I think, about. I mean, it's faculty, it's staff, it's students, everybody. Yeah. They really do care and want to know, like this. They want to know about each other. Yeah. I love that.
I echo that, because I think the aspect of, and we've had it happen together walking across to meetings, and we'll see a student or faculty and staff, and it's not just about classes. It's, oh, hey, how's your parent doing? Or how's your brother? That, I think, is a part of that Aquinas difference that we talk about very, very, very often.
Correct. Yeah. And here, nobody minds giving each other a hug. It's not just a hello. It's like when you see somebody down or even happy, I'm like, I want to congratulate you. And they give each other a hug. Oh, may I give you a hug? I'm really with you in this moment. And that's, again, also very unusual, and I love that here. As you are in Iron, like.
So we are in an exciting time of year. We are transitioning from semester to semester. It's the Christmas season. When you think about this time of year, what's exciting? Like, what's exciting about this? Or are there some family traditions or anything like that that come to mind this time of year? Yeah.
Well, my family, everybody's getting older and everybody's all over the place. So those traditions, not so much. Well, I'm going to start with, I feel sad when the students are all gone and there's no movement. Faculty and staff, there's not a lot of people to talk to. So to look forward is actually looking forward to when everybody comes back. Makes me really happy. But as far as these couple of weeks, besides, I love this pathway to Christmas, this Advent kind of joyous time of waiting for this big, amazing moment and our history that we keep celebrating. But it's really being able to be home. Yeah. I wanted just to be home without having to worry about everybody or everything,
Yeah.
and spending time with family.
Yeah.
I miss being with everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that a lot.
Yeah. And we are, as we think about our return back, in January, I think one of the things that's exciting is our community day.
Yes.
Yeah. So we bring individuals together. And this year's particularly, I think, exciting.
Yeah.
And, I think as we talk with our guests and we think about that return, it's really about, again, building community, but also there's a piece of sharing time with others with a project.
Yes.
I think is going to be a powerful piece coming up in January when we, have multiple tasks, if you will, and projects to work on. So
it also shows that depth of care that all the community members here have for each other, but also for the place. Everybody loves Aquinas.
Yeah.
So it's the fact that so many people that this is before a lot of them have to be back.
Yeah.
They're willing to give a day to basically beatify the buildings, the spaces. I just think it's incredible that that this community thinks so much about each other and about the place, and they're willing to dedicate a day of their lives. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I look forward to seeing the photos, but also, there's going to be some good stories.
Oh yeah.
I think the painting groups and, the clock groups, the classroom support, reorganization, there's going to be some great stories.
Oh, absolutely. Especially the president, painting a room.
I think it's going to be great.
I can't wait.
I think it's going to be great. So one of the exciting parts of the show
Okay.
is called Biscuits Corner. And it's where we kind of talk with our guests about their pets. You have 2 photos for us today.
Yeah.
So I want to start with Holden first, if we can.
Baby.
Yes. Tell me about Holden.
Oh, let's see. We adopted Holden. Well, actually, Holden adopted us. Holden fell in love with my daughter when my daughter it was for her 16th birthday. And we had lost our previous dog, who was a beagle. It's just, I need a dog. And so we went looking for a dog, and all of a sudden Holden just grabbed onto her. And so for 12 years, that dog was part of the family and became part of this family. She was going to events, the pancake breakfast. She was there greeting all the students at the athletic opening. She was there, almost as a mascot. Even the cheer, I believe it was a cheer team, got her a little blinged out barrel to put around her collar.
Perfect,
she loved wearing it, or he loved wearing it. But last December, he finally passed away.
I'm sorry.
So that's why we have Harley.
Yes, so exciting piece of this. And this is kind of, I don't want to say breaking news, but sometimes we get to share exciting news on Tuesdays with Terry. This is a little bit of breaking news in a way.
It's a little bit.
So tell us about Harley.
Well, let's see. Harley came about because I really missed Holden. I didn't want to replace Holden. Holden was a great dog in and of himself. But I have always had pets. And so I always told the students when I got here, well, I have this Sheltie. I said, if he wasn't there, I'd get a St. Bernard. Because, of course, there's Nelson. So in the summer, was looking at sites. I've been going to humane societies. And, St. Bernards aren't the easiest dog to adopt from, a rescue center. So I just randomly one day Google search state of Michigan St. Bernard rescues, and lo and behold, there was a site that people could send we need somebody to adopt this dog. And I saw the picture of Harley and went, there's my dog. So George and I drove to Detroit to visit this dog named Harley. And sure enough, that dog decided she was our dog. It took her a little while. She's pretty intense and very protective of her family. She is not with us. But as soon as she got in the car, she was just fine. And she's been our buddy ever since.
Excellent.
She's a great dog.
So again, breaking news, Tuesday with Terry, very excited. And it's an exciting piece to, have, not only a pet in the family, but also, as you mentioned, sometimes they often choose us even before we realize it.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
This one did. So now she just has to learn how to not be so protective of George and I, so she could come onto campus. Because even though we adopted her with the name Harley, I actually often call her Nellie.
Oh, yeah.
Which is female for Nelson.
That's, yeah.
And so when she comes onto campus, she's alias Nellie.
Alias Nellie.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So she'll end up with her own barrel around her neck
Yes.
when the time is right.
Yes.
And so we're hoping that at some point this next academic year, she'll feel more comfortable being around more people than the two of us. Right now, she's not quite there.
I can imagine our students' reaction, especially.
They will love her.
This will be great. This will be great.
Thank you.
So last segment that we'll do is called Rapid Fire. And I told you ahead of time, I'm not going to give you the question.
This. Yep.
So don't think about it. Just share as we go.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I hope.
Gloves or mittens? Which do you prefer?
Gloves when I'm driving. Mittens when it's freezing cold out.
Okay.
So I'm a dual mitten glove lover.
Okay. So both are okay, pending the situation.
Correct.
Okay. Your favorite ice cream?
Mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip. Excellent. Your favorite cookie?
Probably gingerbread.
Oh, okay. I think that's the first we've heard on Tuesdays with Terry, so this is good. Yeah. Your favorite cheese?
Havarti. Or Manchego.
Okay.
Go back and forth, depending on how salty I want my day. Manchego, Spanish cheese, love it, but Havarti is a good go-to for me.
Excellent. Last one.
Okay.
Think elementary school.
Okay.
What's one of the first memories that pops in your head?
Coloring my bear picture purple.
Okay.
Kindergarten.
Excellent.
Yeah, not for my teacher. My teacher was not very happy. She said there were no purple bears. I said, my bear's purple.
Yes. See, I love this because it's
I will never forget that day.
Yeah, and it sticks out. And that's why, one of the things when we ask this question, we're just thinking like, okay, brings out a piece of whether that's an art project, whether that's an event, like it's a meaningful thing that still is as vivid, because I bet you can close your eyes and see that bear picture.
Oh, yeah. It's always going to be right there.
Yep.
Mrs. Smith. Believe it or not, my kindergarten teacher's name was literally Mrs. Smith.
Excellent.
But she did not like my purple bear.
But we appreciate your purple bear.
I know. That purple bear has shaped me. It's okay to think out of the box.
Yes. Excellent.
Sure. Yeah.
So as we look at, your time here, we appreciate it. I know you're busy. We thank you extremely for coming on the show. And as we continue to kind of move into this next year, any other thoughts or comments you'd like to share with folks?
Oh, I'm just excited. Again, I think this is my third year, so I'm not thinking all Trinity religious stuff. So this is like exciting. It just keeps building steam as we go. I'm just excited that we're going to get together again in the spring and move ourselves through another academic year. Spring's always like, okay, we're done the fall, and like we're always tired in the spring, but I just feel a great energy going on. So to me, that's going to be exciting getting through this next year and looking forward to the next. Yeah,
and before we know it, we're at commencement.
Correct. Oh, that's always a joy.
I know that is
sad when we're losing our students.
Yes, but a favorite day of our faculty, staff, and students. Just a celebration.
It's a celebration, indeed.
Absolutely. Well, thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Today. It was fun.
Yeah. And we'll be right back on Tuesdays with Terry. Coming up, we'll be talking to one of our softball players and our softball coach. So be back here shortly. Welcome back to Tuesdays with Terry. We're excited to continue a content-filled show today. Exciting guest and a lot of great material around Aquinas College and some of the exciting things that we're doing here. One of the things that I forgot to mention earlier in the show was we are a half a dozen shows in. So we are at episode 6 here on Tuesdays with Terry. Very excited about reaching that milestone, and I think we'll continue to reach these exciting milestones as we go forward. We have a couple of great guests to continue our show today. We have Brad and Sophia from the softball team here at Aquinas College. So welcome to the show. Very happy you're here. One of the things that we'll kind of start out with is with Tuesdays with Terry at Aquinas, we utilize this as an opportunity for folks to get to know other members in the community and maybe ways that they wouldn't read about or maybe see in passing. So my first question really for both of you is, tell me a little bit about how you got here to Aquinas. Like, what was your journey kind of coming to Aquinas College?
Go ahead.
I'll go
Yeah.
first. So I went to a community college first and played there for 2 years. And I got scouted by Brad and the JV coach at the time many times. So he came to watch me in my final tournament of my second year. And I decided, you know what, this is a good place. I want to go there. They have a great record. And we completed the process in February of 23, I think. So I've only been here, this is my second year. But
Okay.
I love it so far.
And what are you studying?
I am an English major with a legal studies minor.
Okay.
I'm hoping to go for law. There's just no pre-law major at Aquinas anymore. But grad schools will take any major. So that's my plan.
And that's a great combination.
lot of
to get
reading,
you a lot of reading,
research.
probably a little bit of writing.
A lot of writing.
Yeah.
A lot of writing.
Yeah. So next term, we'll see you in graduation.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I know.
Excellent. How'd you get here, Brad?
Oh, it's a really long story. I'm not maybe as young as fair, but
I'll give you a sign if
yeah,
need be.
fair enough. No,
Yeah.
I started coaching softball and started coaching baseball initially when I came out of college, and coached high school where I taught for 5 years, and then I got a job at Grand Rapids Community College as assistant coach for 5 years there, and then one of the other assistants that I'd coached with got the job here at Aquinas, and then she kind of brought me over. So I was her assistant for 9 years here, and this is my 9th year as head coach here now.
Okay. That's exciting. And you shared a bit earlier that I didn't know. Like you taught math here for a while.
I did, yes. I taught some adjunct classes here when I first started.
Okay.
It's been a little while now, but
What class was it?
mostly the algebra and algebra 2-ish.
Okay.
I don't remember what the numbers were at the time. I think they're different now.
So do you still enjoy math?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy coaching more though.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So when we think about like the upcoming season, like what are you excited for? Like what are some things like, okay, we're going to come back, and then softball in Michigan, which is a northern Midwest state, has its own unique challenges, we'll say.
Yeah.
And based on the weather that we've had, like you could probably have been outside yesterday and potentially today, but then by the week's end, probably not. So that doesn't really change. What's exciting? What can we look forward to this upcoming season?
Well, I'm ready for Florida. I'm excited for that. We have a lot of games. Not as many as last year, but we're still playing a lot, and it's back-to-back. So I'm really excited for that. And then we have more home games this year.
Excellent.
So we get to play Uno at home, right?
I believe so,
And
yeah.
I'm ready to sweep them.
Okay. So you're bringing me to my next question, and Coach can either agree or disagree. So I love asking this question to our student athletes. Who's our rival? Like
we
who?
really don't like Madonna.
Okay.
We really can't stand them, mostly because they've been very good for the last couple of years. But I think that they're going to struggle this year against us.
And what position do you play, Sophia?
Pitcher.
Okay. So, like, you're a key part of this season coming forward. Yeah, you are. I mean, your coach is nodding his head.
Yeah.
So, you think about that, and I know Madonna had, a strong pitcher in the past, coming from a WAC institution to here at Aquinas. I knew that. And as you look at like this rivalry, like is it something like in your mind you're already thinking? So you're already thinking Uno, you're thinking of the sweep, you're thinking Madonna, sweep. I mean, you might as well just say sweep.
Yes.
And when you do that, like how do you get your teammates excited for that? Because you probably have some new teammates,
A lot.
coming on board. Like how do you get your teammates excited for that?
We've got a lot of new people this year. And as a new person last year, it wasn't hard for everyone to get me into that rivalry, I guess, because when we play them, it's easy to see that they're not respectful sometimes. And that just makes me want to beat them. I just want to show them like we're better than you and we're respectful because we're the better team. So I think a lot of the new people will adopt that mindset right away.
And when you think about, moving forward, in the spring. There was some significant success last year as well, like a surge at the right time, which, you know, as I was preparing to come here to Aquinas, you know, I saw it happening, you know, getting down to, was it Indianapolis
Yes.
area?
Yep.
Yeah. And, you know, playing in that, like that, with that level of competition, like, is that a goal as well, is to get back to the,
Oh, absolutely.
back to the tournament?
I hope we go somewhere further than Indianapolis this year. That was nice for me because I have family down there.
Okay.
So it was convenient, but I want to actually go somewhere, you know, further and fun and make it like a trip.
Yeah, we were the first team to actually win the games in the national
games.
tournament like that. And we were 2-2, and we lost in the heartbreaker in the semis. But so our goal is always going to be that, and we always, you know, now our goal is to just let's go win that thing and get to the World Series.
Yeah.
So.
And as you think about, Coach, like bringing, you know, bringing in new players this year, acclimating them to the system, and then also bringing in new recruits. So you're not only like making, you know, the season happen here in the spring, but you're also preparing, you know, for next year and the year after. As you're doing that, like, what are some of the things that you, when you talk to parents and you talk to potential athletes, and you had this experience, what do you talk? How are you talking about Aquinas?
Just to, you know, some of the things about Aquinas that are, you know, I think that are a draw for everybody is just, you know, educationally it's very tough to beat with the small class sizes and, you know, the graduation rates and the, you know, ability to, you know, place kids in, you know, internships. You know, we're in a major city, which is very convenient because you get a lot of opportunities. And then ultimately our athletic program, even though it's a fairly small school, we're very successful in, you know, most of our sports, and including softball. So it's, you know, people look at your record on paper, and you know, most people want to win. So it's a place you if you're a winner, you want to come here because you're, you know, pretty much always going to do that. So, but yeah, so we have a lot of good things that draw people to Aquinas, and you know, obviously I've been here for a long time here, so I can, you know, iterate those to parents pretty easily because I've lived it for, you know, 18 years now.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, as you think about, you know, as a student athlete, you know, you have class, practice, games, travel, you know, potentially internship, depending on where you're at. How do you balance that? Like, how do you as a student, like, balance all of that?
Well, I've never known how to not do that.
Okay.
I've always been
that's
busy.
yeah.
I feel like that's a trait with softball is you're always on the go because we can play it year round. So it's weird to me to not have anything to do. Like right now on break, all I'm doing is working, and it's weird to not get up and go to practice and then class and then go to work. So it's like second nature for me to balance that. It's easy at this point.
Yeah. When do things get like serious and like, you know, getting ready for spring? Like what point in the next like month or so does that happen?
So basically we start again when school starts on the 13th. We
Yeah.
have some open gyms the week before that.
Yep.
Because in NAI we can only practice for 24 weeks, so we have to pick and choose how those look. But once we start in January, we have a game on February 14th, so we basically have 4 weeks to prep. So we play a couple of indoor tournaments in February, and then Florida, obviously. So we play most of our non-conference games either indoors or in Florida, which ultimately it'd be tough to play them in Michigan, as you know. So that's why we kind of changed to that sort of schedule. So, but basically, like I said, we had about 4 weeks to get ready. So we get right after it on Monday the 13th. And,
Oh, I bet, yeah.
So.
And where indoor wise, where are those games at?
The first one's in Rosemont, Illinois.
Okay.
There's a dome there that has 2 fields. We play there. And
Okay.
then the week after that, we go to Iowa and St. Ambrose. They have a dome there as well. So we play there for the weekend, and then the week after that, we're off to Florida.
So how many games total? Let's say everything goes as planned. Weather is a limited issue. I'm being hopeful here. Yeah. How many games ideally would the softball team get in?
So we're allowed to play 50 total. So we want to play all of them, obviously. And then obviously the postseason doesn't count for that. So last year we were 42 and 15, so we ended up playing 57 total. So hopefully we make it the World Series. We'll be in the 60s, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm pulling for it in the 60s. I think that'd be great.
Definitely.
One of the exciting parts about the show, and you both sent in pet photos. So Biscuits Corner allows us to kind of talk about pets. So the background Biscuits Corner is I have a yellow lab named Biscuit, and we were, you know, kind of as we were kicking off the show and doing it, and folks like it started talking about their pets and so forth. So we make it a regular segment.
Okay.
So tell us a little about your pet, Sophia.
I have a beagle named Charlie.
Okay.
He just turned 2 in October.
Oh, very much puppy.
He's #1 man in my heart.
Okay.
Love him. But he's also probably the worst dog ever. He's a troublemaker. Because if you know beagles, they follow their nose and they don't stop. So he's chaotic, but I still love him.
Finds a lot of things. That's what we could say, right?
Yeah. Seeks them out.
Seeks them out. Yeah. Oh, interesting. And Brad, like who do we have here?
This is Moose.
Moose. Okay.
Yeah, and he is a moose. He's a 80-pound golden doodle, and he's a lap dog. So
okay, fair.
he'll sit right up on you, and he needs a lot of attention. But he's a really good dog. He doesn't shed, he doesn't bark hardly at all, and he's a really good boy. So
Excellent.
Opposites.
Charlie has time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in time, it will happen.
Hopefully.
I'm pulling for Charlie here. So, part of the show is as well as we do some rapid fire questions. So I'll ask the question. We'll do each.
Right.
So don't think about it. Don't overthink it. Just come out with the answer.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Here we go. What's your favorite ice cream?
Cookies and cream.
Just vanilla.
Okay. Your favorite cookie?
Snickerdoodle.
Chocolate chip.
Favorite cheese?
Parmesan.
I like pepper jack.
Okay.
Well, that's a good one too.
Gloves or mittens?
Ooh, mittens.
Oh, you had it with you had a reaction to that.
Mittens. Yeah.
Why mittens?
My hands get really cold, and
Okay.
if they're separated, I feel like it's not as warm.
Now, do you have so it's cold in your pitcher?
Yeah.
So how do you keep warm in between?
We have hand warmers that we use.
Okay.
And I usually will just put my jacket on and stuff my hands under. Yeah.
No Aquinas softball mittens.
No, I don't have any right now.
Interest. We're just laying that hint, Coach.
Fair enough.
Just throwing it out. Yeah.
Sounds
Gloves or mittens, Coach?
I actually wear both, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, so it kind of depends on what I'm doing. I like mittens though, because they're the same reason her.
Yeah.
I feel like my hands get
Together.
warmer.
Okay.
I'm
So,
snowballing.
but gloves it depends on the context.
Right.
Okay. Excellent. Now, a coaching question. Do you wear gloves when you're coaching?
No.
Okay.
So I tend to write down everything that happens in the game. So
Okay.
I can't really do that with gloves on. So I might have in my pockets just put on afterwards,
Okay.
but generally no.
So no gloves.
No.
All right. All right. When you think about elementary school,
Okay.
what's a memory that pops in your head?
A long time ago, I fell off of the slide that we had, and I broke my wrist.
Right. Okay. What grade?
Maybe third
Okay.
grade.
Maybe third grade. Yeah.
My mom is a occupational hand therapist.
Okay.
So she did all that for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a very frustrating time because I couldn't put my mittens on
Ah,
over
see,
my
I know.
splint. I
Okay.
couldn't do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Weird. First thought.
No, that's fine. Like it's very creative here on the show. Like we have things that come back. So when you think, Coach, elementary school, what
You know how
pops in?
long ago that was?
6 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. No, I think my favorite school year was 6th grade. I went to Blandford Nature Center School.
Okay.
So it was completely different than normal school, and we got to be outside a lot and learn about things that we never would have learned in a classroom setting. And, camping trips and things like that. And it was pretty amazing school year.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you both for coming on the show. I look forward to the season. I look forward to getting out there and seeing, kind of how we do, getting to 60.
Yes.
60-ish games, we'll say. And when we, anything else you'd like to share with folks before we end today?
Go Saints.
Go Saints and come out to games.
Yeah, come on, see
Make
us.
sure.
Hopefully
Absolutely.
we get some decent weather so people can come enjoy watching the ball games.
Oh, absolutely. Again, thank you both. We're wrapping up for today, but again, I want to thank our guest for joining us here on Tuesdays with Terry. An exciting show, learning bits and pieces about what is happening here at Aquinas College. So again, I look forward to seeing you on our next episode. And if you're interested in joining, feel free to reach out and we'll make sure you get on the list to join us. So have a great break and a great Christmas holiday.